everybody. Happy Sunday. So welcome back to the stream. New year, new to ID. And I'm really excited. Today is going to be jam-packed, but before we get into it, super happy Nick's back with us today. So Nick will be checking for questions and all that good stuff today. So welcome back, Nick. We missed you. Well, I missed you. I missed you a lot. I'm sure people did miss you too. So what we're going to basically be doing today is basically, if you remember, like our very first session, we talked about the good old analysis and design. The last couple of days, we've kind of spent some time on development, which again, I know that has went really, really fast. Remember, this particular stream is just kind of a baseline. I'm not going to be doing every single thing for you, but at least want to expose you to different parts of the TechSmith suite of products. And if you do want to go deeper in, I will just go ahead and I guess do a spoiler alert. In March, I'm going to be doing this again, but a little bit more tech. So what we're going to be doing March is we're going to be building kind of a pick your own path or determine thy own exploit. Do not say the other one that you may know from books. I did get into some trouble with that a few years ago, so I learned my lesson the hard way. But what you probably are thinking the words are, that is what we're going to be building in Camtasia in March. So it's going to be basically the entire 5 episodes is just going to be building, 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 because it takes a lot of time to build that out. So if you've been a little disappointed on, hey, I want more building, I'm going to be using TechSmith products to build a learning experience. How do I analyze it? How do I implement it? How are we going to evaluate all that jazz? Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to have my comments open. So thanks, Luke. That was really kind of you to say that. I'm good. It's just a lot going on right now, just personally and professionally for me. I have a saying, I'm blessed to be stressed, right? It's a good thing. It's a good thing to have a lot of different stuff going on in one's life. I just got to figure out how to handle things better myself. So just putting that out there. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead, hop into it, and we're going to kick off with Snagit. So I did go ahead and make a little Snagit and I put it in the resources. So as a reminder, resources are in the description of this video, or if you're on Crowdcast, it's below the video in a button. And what I have done, and Nick, I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger, so we're going to pop off here. Okay, so here I have Snagit 2020 open. And if you remember what I was thinking, we were talking about, how can we make this video more authentic? How can we make it to where it is basically we want everyone to benefit from these different things that the ABC company is doing to include the deaf community in their day-to-day, right? We want to make sure that they are included from work from home. So what I came up with was I thought it would be nice to have like a little fake email of somebody saying, hey boss, really like these new things that we're doing. I think it's helping everybody, and here's what I am getting value out of. So in order to do that, I actually use Snagit, and it's going to be a little hard for me to live stream this because basically what I did is I brought up my Gmail account, and then I snipped around kind of a new message in Gmail to kind of make this. But if you've never seen Snagit before, this is basically how it starts out. And you can actually set up little presets that you can do as far as, if you have different little things that you use frequently. But for me, I actually like using just the video here. And when you do that, you have a bunch of different options. You can do basically a region, and the region lets you draw it yourself. So you could go in and, snip around whatever it is that you want, versus a window would kind of be like, if you have a particular window open for that. For sharing, you can do screencasts, but gosh, you can do all kinds of different things in here. And if you select none, what happens is it will go ahead and open up in the editor, which I'll show here in just a moment. It's behind our little Snagit panel here. But depending on how quick you want to do things, you can share it to multiple different places, either, in the whole TechSmith suite of products or even outside, because it has, Box, Slack, SharePoint integration, which is nice. Webcam, that's pretty self-explanatory if you want the camera on or off. Now, the preview and editor, if you do have that ticked, that means that that editor is going to pop up immediately afterwards. Nice thing is if you don't tick this, no harm, no foul, when you open up the Snagit editor, it will remember what you just did, which is great. So you don't have to fumble around, see where it's saved on your computer or anything like that, which is another feature that I absolutely love. Another one is if you want the cursor in there or not. So that totally depends, right? So if you like having the cursor in there and you want to kind of see the path it goes and capture that, you most certainly can do that. You can also turn it off. I think in this clip, I actually had it defaulted to on, and that was probably a silly mistake on my part. We'll see here in a minute. Record microphone, again, kind of the same. And then system audio if you wanted to capture like any kind of system stuff that may pop up like an alert or something. And then when you're ready, you just hit this capture and then you'll get the little mini, you'll get the crosshairs depending on how you set it up to share your screen. So we'll go real meta here today. So hang tight, I hit that. And let's see if, okay. So you see how, well, actually, I don't know if y'all can see it. I see it on my side. Let's see. I'm just capturing the Camtasia here.
Hello, everyone. If everyone can hear me, we are working on getting back up. Just hold on tight. Oh, and there's my wonderful face. So I hope everyone's having a phenomenal Sunday. Hear me? It's a great day. You know, technology always happens, but you know, we get through it. So I hope everyone, like I said, is having a great start to the new year. What is your favorite thing you've learned in these sessions so far? Go ahead and post that in the chat. I would love to hear from you guys. Oh, I'm great on dad jokes, but I wouldn't want to bore you guys. Like I said, I wanted to know what you guys are learning, but why did the blind man fall down the well? Well, he didn't see that well. All right, that's my last dad joke, I promise you guys. So, anyways, like I said, I really want to know what you guys are learning. Yeah, the drag and drop feature is phenomenal. I also think that Jane also said that presets is saving her so much time, especially if every image needs a border, for example, to save a folder location. So, like, as you can see, Camtasia is so user friendly. So Catherine says Camtasia is not the same tool as it was in 2014, and Amanda is saying it's just connected. Would only love to hear from you guys. Yes, we're running a little bit of technical difficulties. Bear with us, guys. Haley's saying that I never thought of using assets from other sources like Canva and Camtasia. Camtasia does leverage things that we as as learning and development and instructional designers, we leverage, and Camtasia is phenomenal at incorporating everything. The inclusion checklist. Oh, congratulations, Heidi. That's amazing. Heidi just had an interview on Friday asking about an inclusion checklist and that topic. Guys, I apologize on the as quote dead air. I am talking with Kara right now, and we're working to get back up. Oh my gosh. Katie says, do you know milk is the fastest liquid on earth? It's pasteurized before you even see it. Katie, I love it. I love it. All right, I said that was the last one, but I guess we're going to keep going on the topic of dad jokes. So why was the Scarecrow so great at its job? It's because he was outstanding in his field. Jane asks, what's your favorite keyboard shortcut that saves you time in Camtasia? And I would love to hear from you guys. I mean, Camtasia is just so intuitive for me personally. So again, I would want to turn it to you guys. Oh my gosh, why can't you trust an atom? Because they make up everything, those atoms. So in sign language, real quick, this is a deaf joke. Deaf culture is a little bit different than hearing culture because hearing culture we rely on, again, hearing. So the sign for milk is this. This is a sign for milk. And a deaf joke would be pasteurized milk would be pasteurized milk. Artem is saying that disconnected. I'd like to mention that some people face fonts and grouping after converting project Camtasia 9 to Camtasia 2020. I know TechSmith has a phenomenal tech support, support center. So I would definitely rely on that issue and refer to any individual needs through TechSmith. Again, they're very responsive and they're just an overall great organization. Katie wants to tell a potassium joke. Go ahead, Katie, tell your potassium joke. Oh, Katie says K, as in the elemental symbol for potassium. Oh my gosh. Katie, you are full of them. I would love to connect with you on our dad jokes and just go back and forth all day. Katie asked a great question. Katie's asking, can you have interactivity within a video in Camtasia? Like have a user answer questions, click on hotspots, and etc. And I'll be totally transparent. You know, I had to reach out to Carol on that, and she says, yes, in the March stream, Carol will definitely teach that. Jane says that there's a fab, short for fabulous for all you people who don't know, list of keyboard shortcuts under help in Camtasia, and I find them really helpful and speeds up the editing process. And I agree, anything to cut down the editing process really helps. Camtasia and TechSmith have, like I said, a great support center, and that's where I learned everything is just on the fly. So JR Aha Man 7 is asking about the difference between other video editors, and as training and development people that we or persons, excuse me, we are always looking for things catered to our industry. So the incorporation of using other services that we use, Canva, or the interactivity, that's something that is catered toward.
All right, I think I'm back. Thank you all for your.
And like I said, Kara's going to go over stuff like that. I find TechSmith Camtasia a really catered for IDs or learning development persons, and it's just a really intuitive product. Oh, hey, Kara.
Hello. Sorry. Thank you all for your patience. I'm convinced things are back up. It wouldn't pick up my webcam. I had to completely restart my computer. And I thought about getting on my Mac, but then I was like, I don't have anything queued up. And then, of course, when I came back on, do you think everything was queued up again? Absolutely not. So it's going to be fun. So let me go ahead, have a question about the inclusion checklist. Do you have permission to use it? Absolutely, I made that. So what that is, I'll go ahead and drag this over here so you all can see it. And it also might help if I share my screen. I realized I wasn't doing that. But essentially, I think that before you implement any learning solution, you really should take it through a check of, make sure the language is good, make sure that there's elements in it. So that is yours to use and keep. So you are more than welcome to, use that for, just the reviewing piece. Now, you should maybe, again, depending on how you do ID and kind of the cycle of everything, you may do that before you get to this part. You may also do it like during the storyboard check and all of that. And I'm pulling it up here so you all can see it. But essentially, you just want to check and make sure language is good, right? You don't want whatever it is to offend anybody. A lot of this, again, is things that maybe you as a learning development professional would never dream in a million years of putting in there. But however, if you have a lot of content that your subject matter experts are working on, or you have all this documentation you have to go through, it's easy to overlook stuff. So this is just a nice little way to just go through your content, making sure that it is, in line with the message that you want to send. And then and there is this national came up with this great acronym called POUR. And so then if you could do a check for perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust, it also makes it good. So yep, that's what that is. Feel free to use that as much as you want. I made it for folks to use, and feel free to share with credit, of course. Okay, so great question with that. All right, now dare I try to talk about Snagit again? I'm gonna try again. Okay, so let's stop the share here. I'm gonna pop back over and try to share Snagit, and bear with me just one moment. And just know that it's definitely a Kara computer thing. This PC that I'm on has definitely seen better days, and I'm economically efficient, and I don't want to buy another computer because I just bought a new MacBook too. So I just, I'm hold on to dear life, but maybe it's telling me it's time it needs to go away. All right. So I'm not even going to try to show Snagit on that again. I showed you all kind of the first part of it. So this is actually after you take your snip, this is what it looks like. And so this is, again, just imagine this is Gmail. This is what I snipped around. And then you can play it here, and you can see how bad that I type when I am basically on, recording, and I'm recording my stuff here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you all can see it here. So again, but I think there's something human about that as well. Totally depends on how you want to do it. I made this an MP4, and it is over in the resources if you want to use this in your video. So again, I made it super generic on that. So uh Jane is saying try recording audio without audio and webcam. I'm not trying it again, Jane, but yeah, you're probably right. So I'm just typing out, about thank you for, doing this, for caring about the other folks in the company. And then I just thought that'd be a nice little touch to add into our video, and that's why I did it. I will tell you, Snagit specifically for me, kind of some of my big use cases is one when I want it to feel very authentic. So instead of making or grabbing stock art of, I don't know, a computer desktop or something like that, often I will try to get one of the ones either in the organization I'm working at, or a very basic one that maybe I make a basic desktop or something. For me, I think it's really great for capturing kind of authentic processes, specifically if you're making a video about somebody going through a process online, what does that look like? And then 3, it's also really helpful if you have something you want to highlight, but then you want to kind of get rid of a lot of the information that you don't want other people to see, so you can easily block out other things behind it. So I think it's a really versatile tool. I use it almost every day. Actually, just about every day. I mean, that's pretty accurate, actually. And there's just all these things that come up on a day-to-day basis that you need for it. So again, I want to show you some magic here. So we are here in Snagit, and let's say I wanted to send it to Camtasia. I can go up here to share, and I can send it right over into Camtasia right like this, which is awesome. So again, I'm not having to fumble around trying to figure out where I save the file, where I put it. It automatically sends it over into Camtasia. And if Camtasia was open, which it is still not open yet on my side, Actually, it said that my last project closed unexpectedly. Yes, it did, Camtasia. Thank you for that. So let me go ahead and just open this up so you all can see just how quick this works. Of course, I'm banking on my technology to work on this side, but all right, looking for some other. All right, Amanda's saying that regulatory commission added some racial equity language. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's really important for us to think about that, because when we create learning experiences, we're creating them for what? Everybody, right? So we want to make sure that everything that we're doing is, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or make someone feel like don't belong where they are. All right. Says it's opening up here. Again, thank you all for your patience. I really appreciate everything. And then let's see if we can get this up here. And then I want to spend some time also implementing. So I'm going to show you all 2 different places you can host things if you're looking to host things in various ways, and just get you some experience in what a learning management system looks like. And then also one of my favorite tools that I don't think is used enough, MailChimp, that I think would really, if you play with it and get it on your portfolio, I think it would really help you stand out. So, all right, Camtasia is still not, let's see, it's not responding. Hang tight here. Here we go. Give it a moment here. It is loading. Again, it is definitely on my end. All right, here we go. Now it's loading the project. Bear with it here. But as we're doing that, any other questions? I'm going to pop over here, Crowdcast, and take a look. All right. Karthik on Crowdcast shared a really nice link about the zoom and pan feature in Camtasia, which is awesome. I know Nick was talking a little bit about the interactive elements. If you go to my portfolio, karanorth.com, and there is a video in there called Will's Trip to Japan, that is what I created for the pick your own path or determine thy own exploit, however you want to say it, adventure in Camtasia. All right, can you all still hear me? It sounded like my audio dropped. Nick, okay, all right, just making sure. Okay, so I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller here so you can see this. And so now again, I'm back in Snagit, and we'll go share Camtasia, send to Camtasia. All right, letting it do its thing. We see our little circle here. And then it's a thinking. Open it up here. And there it is. It's bringing it right on over. So easy peasy when it's working. When your technology is working, TechSmith works. But okay, and then there it is. And then I can just play with it here. So any questions about Snagit? Again, I just wanted to show how easy it is to use. These 2 tools pair beautifully together. Really, they do. I think that's why I always recommend, if somebody's like, Kara, should I get Camtasia or should I get Snagit? I always try to tell you get the bundle, because they do just pair really nicely with one another. And remember, we have links for discounts, and you can also get trial of this as well as you're learning. So, all right. If we don't have any other questions about that, what I do want to do is I want to spend some time again just showing the different implementation piece, because it is implementation day. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this out. You all can look at that lovely camel, because I do love me some camels. And then I'm going to drag over here screen. So I'm going to start first with a learning management system. And so this learning management system that I am demoing here, this is called Canvas. And Canvas is a learning management system that's a little bit more higher education based. However, if you are learning how to use a learning management system, you can get a free account to play with. So again, a lot of instructional design jobs, as you know, do ask if you have the learning management experience. It is very difficult to get that learning management experience, obviously, if you're not in an organization. So here with Canvas, it's a pretty easy one to get experience with. This is actually just, again, a testing little sandbox that I have access to. And I just want to kind of show you kind of the taxonomy of it. So as you can see, this particular one that I have here, I have it set up in a modular based, meaning that there's different little sections for each one. And again, a lot of this is just stuff that have been brought in, just different little templates, that kind of stuff. And so let's say hypothetically we wanted to put our video into one of these. There's a couple different options that we can do. So I'm going to click right here just to get started and give it a moment here as it takes its time. And then there should be some material here. Yep. So again, just have the good old lorem ipsum gypsum here, course structure, blah, 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 blah. So one nice thing about Canvas, and actually almost every learning management system, is that it is HTML based. So you can go here to your lovely editing pencil. And then once I open it up here, I have a couple of different options. So first option would be, come on, load for me. Come on. Again, this is definitely my system, not anything else. So thank you all again for your patience. Totally going to throw this thing out the window, buy a new computer after this. But you know what's funny? I said that the exact same the last live stream, but it's like I have so many memories with this computer, I don't think I can do it. But anyway, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and delete out this video here. And so what I did to do that was I just hit delete. And as you can see, this is very much like a website, WordPress, etc., whatever it is that you want to do. However, Canvas is a little bit weird about this. So I'm going to show you something here. So let's say I want to go here to insert and I want to do, I don't know, media for my video, right? So if I click on it, I should be able to go here, and it does look like I can go ahead and drag and drop one over. So I think I have, let me see where I put it here on my desktop. Bear with me one second. I'm on monitor number 3 over here. Come on, open for me. It's a thing. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this on over here. Give me a second. So this actually is a recent improvement. Before with Canvas, you actually had to upload it into the course before you could put it in. So looks like they've done some improvements here. So there it is. You saw what I did. I just drug the MP4 over into this. And you can also add subtitles here, which is nice. So if I did have that SRT file, I could go ahead and upload it here with the captions, and then Canvas would go ahead and put that underneath. So what that would look like is I would have the play bar, and then I would have a toggle here for the captions, which is nice. So sadly, I don't have captions for this, but I did actually burn some stuff in. If you all can remember in this video, I go ahead and click submit. Give it a second. It's loading. Okay, and it's loading there. So that's what it looks like. It is also nice because it has that dynamic where we can change the playback speed on it. So nicely done. All right, Katie, I see your question. Let's get to it here. So Katie asked, did I miss how it exported? Yes. Actually, I didn't show it, so you didn't miss anything. So let me bring Camtasia back up here. So what I basically did was when this is where it's talking about. Get out of the way. There we go. Get that out of the way. When you share something in save something in Camtasia, it will save it as a Camtasia project by default. So in order to get it as an MP4, you have a couple of different options. The first option would be to share as like a local file, and that's how I did it for this one. So share local file, and then it will pop up, how do you want it, and you can adjusted all different ways through here. Rule of thumb though, if you are just wanting MP4, I would focus on these options only. I wouldn't necessarily do the smart player. And then go to next. Yep, that's fine. And then the name, and then I finish, and then it'll make a little folder on my desktop. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about when we go to MailChimp here, is you can actually host it on Screencast, which is part of Camtasia. And then once you host it on Screencast, it gives you a URL that you can embed it in. So if for some organization doesn't do YouTube or any other video hosting, this might be a good option for you. But I will caution you, make sure that you ask your organization how best they want that shared. So it's a good question to always ask. Some organizations want to make sure their IPs protect. Well, I think every organization wants their intellectual property protected, but there might be some rules around that. So that's one way, but there's a lot of different ways that you can share in Camtasia, but those are 2 of the ways that I like to do for the MP4. So great question. Thank you for calling me on that. I did not show that, so good question. All right. So there's our video, and then I just go down here to save. Another nice option that I do like in Canvas is you can tick this if this is something you want people to know that there was a change. And so what would happen is you see all these little, well, there's like an inbox notification to notify them that something had changed. And depending on how your users are set up, they would either get that via email or some other way. So it would be an email that say, hey, your course changed. Here's what changed. And then it would tell you the page name. So we're just going to save it here. But again, you should get access. It is a free tool you could get access to for Canvas to play along with. And again, if you just got it for a moment just to test it out, I think that this is completely worth the time doing a screenshot of this and putting this on your portfolio just to show that you can do it, right? Because again, you're really wanting to prove to those employers that you can do a little bit of everything with it. So that's my advice on that as far as Canvas goes. But I could probably spend a whole video just going through what it looks like to put something in a learning management system, because I know one of the hardest things for new folks to get, especially if you're not working. Where would you have access to a learning management system? So. All right, any questions about that one? Okay. All right, up next is MailChimp somewhere. Where's my other browser here? Hang tight 1 second. I should take like a before and after picture of all these different windows and streams and all this good stuff. All right, I'm scooting on over here. Here is MailChimp. So this actually is just a screen. I'm messing with the campaign of the previous stream that I did back in May of last year, because we basically built this little electric company video and then we put it in MailChimp. But here's why I think this is a nice underrated tool for learning development professionals. Number 1, more and more organizations are not only looking for people that can do internal learning and development, meaning for employees, but they're also looking for external, so customer success, various help pages, tools to assist customers, right? And so how's a good way to get to customers? Via your website and via what? Your email, right? So if you have the customer's emails, you could something like this. Number 2, this is free as well. And I think this is free up to 1,000 contacts. So as long as you don't have 1,000 people in your inbox here or on your list, this is free to use. 3, to me, it's very kind of similar to just like a regular, what you see is what you get format. You can drag and drop. They have a bunch of different styles here, etc. on it. So to kind of show you this is just a campaign I built, but you have all these different little things that you can put in here. You can really just have a good time with it. Now, I will caution you, if you're a coder, this doesn't do all the lovely codes that you probably want to do. So I will say if there's a limitation to MailChimp currently, that would be it. It doesn't have a whole lot of customization that you could put in there. So basically, here's just like a little header. I put the little video in there so they could play it. Now, let me go over here to edit. Bear with me one moment here. It's a thinking. Okay. So for this one, I did actually upload it to YouTube. However, you can host it in the screencast in Camtasia, but the only limitation doing that to share it in MailChimp is it will not give you the little preview image. So see how I got the little preview image with the red play button, very YouTube, right? And you won't get that with screencast, sadly. So, but if that's what you have to use to get the job done, I still think that that's a job well done. Again, you have some different little information here. You could put whatever in there. Uh, I think there's just some random text in here just to show you, but again, nice option. I think that there's not a lot of people out there. So again, your reward, if you want to call it a reward for watching this and being here live, and then also watching the replay is I'm giving you kind of my pro tips on how to get you to stand out from the crowd. This will help you stand out from the crowd 100% because not a lot of people are thinking like that. I see something like this on the portfolio of someone seeking a job. I'm immediately impressed because I'm like, this person has thought about internal and external customers, right? And it's just a different tool because again, a lot of companies, I mean, full transparency, you all, learning management systems are expensive, crazy expensive, especially if you're at a smaller company or if you have a company that is just getting started with kind of learning and development, they might not have a lot of money. They might not. And so they may look to you to kind of think of different ways to get things out the door, and this would be a good tool to do so. So I just highly recommend playing with it. Looks like Lynette is excited about getting to play with it. I recommend it. I think it's a neat little tool to play with. And again, something a little bit different. It's going to make you stand out in a good way. All right. Dorada, I see your question on screencast. I'm going to screencast, crowdcast. So Dorada is asking, do I have any tip on how to improve the quality output? She recorded a couple of simulations with Camtasia, inserted into Storyline. The quality was good, but the MP4 was Storyline. Yes, oh my gosh, I had the exact same thing happen to me earlier this year. So dare I try to get my Storyline up and running right now. So hang tight, Dorada. It is a setting actually in Storyline that you need to do. Basically, what happens when you bring in a video in Storyline, it does automatically compress it. And then you have to be able to mess with it to where it doesn't automatically compress it. And I had one specifically that about made me ram my head through the wall last year. I was just so frustrated with it, could not get it to be unfuzzy. And so then I think I went to Twitter and I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I don't remember who said it now. I wish I could, so I give them the credit. But basically, a way around it is we hosted that as a web object and embedded the web object into the slide to where it wasn't fuzzy. And that worked on that one slide. So that's my other tip too. But yeah, it totally depends. I had trouble with some of them just automatically compressing, and then I couldn't even toggle between the compression in it. So if you want to hit me up a little bit later on that, I'm happy to maybe walk through that with you because I have the exact same issue. So I know exactly what you're talking about here. All right. Another question here from Marie as my Storyline is trying to load here. So hang tight here. So Marie is asking about inserting a video from Twitter into MailChimp and added an image separately. It did not fill the entire rectangle, but still provided a visual preview. Okay. When you did the image and the video, does it, let's say it did not fill the entire rectangle, but still provided. Okay. It might, because it came from Twitter, assume it's a certain size. I wonder, Marie. So it might have those preset dimensions, and then MailChimp is reading it differently. That could potentially be it, but it's kind of hard to tell. But I'm sorry that you had that issue, and maybe we can, I don't know, if you want to like share it and share me a screenshot or something, maybe we can figure that out for you. All right. course, my storyline, I have to sign in like everything else in the world, right? I get it. Like I know security is important, but I am so sick of signing into every single thing every single time I do anything. It's just beyond frustrating for me. I just can't handle it personally. Okay. All right, I'm looking at the time. We're already at about 45 minutes. I can't believe how fast everything went. So I just wanted to go ahead and give you all kind of a recap of what's going on. So we have our last session of this. I can't believe it happened so fast. Next Saturday at 11 a.m. And what we're going to be talking about specifically is how do you evaluate this? And then I'm also going to build out a little 30-day plan for you to give you little incremental tasks in order to build your first kind of learning experience in Camtasia and using Snagit as well for the first time if you haven't, okay? As you're building stuff out, tag me. I want to see them. I want to celebrate them. I want to share them of all the great work that you are doing. And remember, you can get the free trial. Please don't worry if it's got a watermark on it. Again, as a hiring manager, I see some of the watermark on it in a portfolio. I get omega excited because I'd rather see a watermark than your company's intellectual property and kick you out of the running for a job. Okay. So that's exactly what it's intended to do. Use it. It's a good thing. And yeah, so I should have the resources up for that. Please share the replays with people. I know there, especially this weekend, we had a different crowd. It was a little bit smaller, which is definitely not a bad thing. Appreciate everyone's time, but want to make sure people can get access to the replay. So please feel free to share those. If you're watching the replay, comment below or in the chat on Crowdcast. If you're watching the replay, Nick, am I missing anything? I know I'm talking a million miles a minute.
No, I think it was great. I mean, I love everyone's input. We told some great dad jokes and we learned a lot today.
All right. Well, with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate everybody's time. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend and hope you have a great week next week. All right. Thanks. Bye.